ping. If it could ping the map, that'd be pretty cool. But rally point really misset here for MorroW. Did cause him to lose 3 Marines, 3.5 if you want to call it. With still having no medevacs on the field, he is now just getting that up. So going back to the production tab is, of course, the income tab still shows that MorroW is well ahead of his opponent, although he's still just working off the 1 gas. He's trying to get all 3 or the other 3 up at the moment. But it looks like HuK is just continuing to try to keep some map control, working in some Immortals into his army now. He does have the Colossi, but he doesn't have the extended thermal lance, and he is not researching it. And I don't think I agree with that, as it does just leave the Colossus range at 6, which is the equivalent of the Marauders. And the Marauders, of course, do extra damage to armored, and Colossus are armored. So you really need that extended thermal lance to keep them away from the Marauders, keep them behind your tanky units like the Zealots and the Immortals. And Observer out here in the field now. Ooh, Twilight Council. This is what I wanted to see. With HuK having such a large Zealot force, that is, yeah, 13 Zealots inside of his army of less than 24 units. Or I guess I should include, yeah, still less than 24 units. It's a very effective upgrade for them, especially against Terran. And it's going to allow them to close the gap on the Marines and the Marauders. Of course, every unit that Terran does have is ranged. Observer getting picked off by a nice placement here of a turret here from MorroW. And also putting that near a sensor tower. So this is going to give MorroW the ability to judge any incoming attacks or any units that are trying to move around the map. Really the only thing that HuK can do now is warp in, maybe throw a warp prism here, or you know, drop in up here at the mineral line. But I don't think he's going to be doing that. He doesn't have a warp prism out on the field. He's still researching charge that is almost finished. And he's got a Templar Archives up. And Storm is all about 75% of the way done. Still interesting to see what HuK is going to do. And I kind of thought he might be looking to push out. But he is now just taking another expansion. And I don't know. I'm not saying Day 9's wrong or anything, because we know Day 9's always right. But he says that you want to expand when you're pushing out, but in my eyes, it makes your push a lot weaker, because those minerals that you're spending, so 150 minerals, 250, 350, 450, 850 minerals right here in this expansion, that could have been used on the push. But as it turns out, HuK wasn't pushing out, but just, oh, and I missed a drop. I'm going to go back to that, because I have the ability since it's replays. Of course, I'm getting a little bit off topic. So MorroW is abusing, like I said, the medevacs that he really needs to, and he is going to snipe out this Nexus. He's probably going to get quite a few probe kills as well, but HuK's army is getting back in. Charge is finished. He's warping in a few more Stalkers to probably try to take out these medevacs, as MorroW is going to try to retreat, and the 1 medevac is going to go down. It was the fuller of the 2, but still very effective, as it's going to stop this base completely from mining. And wow, MorroW is here hitting on 2 fronts now, trying to take out this expansion as well, but there was some Templar and Colossi here to deny that. And I guess this game is kicking into action mode. I was a little bit thrown off because there was such a lull in the action. I figured I'd try to analyze some things and talk a little, but now the action is starting to pick up, and it looks like HuK is going to try to push out as well. He's going to take out this Marine at the Zalnunga Watchtower. He's going to keep that probably, and he's going to put up a proxy pylon. And it looks like MorroW is engaging. Not a really good idea to let his Marauders get engaging, or to engage that early, as all the rest of his force weren't here yet. But bad positioning on these Colossi. They are right out in front, and they get taken out really quick. But a couple nice storms do really soften up the Terran army. MorroW's going to be forced to retreat here to keep his medevacs and his units alive, but Charge is going to quickly chase those units down. But a bunch more Marauders re-engaging, and this Archon did run away. If he would have been here to engage, that might have been a closer battle. The Templar does not have enough energy to storm. The Stalkers are going to get cleaned up by the Marauders, and at the same time, oh, it's okay. Thought I seen some more action, but it's just probes, distance mining. So a couple units here from MorroW, just scouting and keeping an eye on these expansions to make sure HuK doesn't try to boldly double expand. That is a very popular thing for a Protoss player to do, or even a Zerg player to do after they've finished with some aggression, to double expand. But in this situation, I think MorroW may have came out ahead. Yes, he definitely did come out ahead in the engagements up until now. And HuK is going to lose the 1 proxy pylon, but he doesn't lose the second one, so that is good news for him. But now HuK, or MorroW, sorry, elevatoring some units up, and they are going to get stormed to hell here. That is such a softened up Terran army, and very nice storms, just a blanket of storms. And a couple units still left, but these Archons will clean them up. Look how slow the damage is dealt to these Archons by the Marauder and the Marine. And this one Immortal taking a few shots before well, he didn't really help, but the Archons cleaned everything up. And I wonder, can MorroW see this? Yes, he can. So he is going to take that out. I didn't know if he did see that or not, but he's seen the probe, and now he is going to take out that pylon. So good job by him. And looks like HuK's just looking on to add 3 forges. Does he not have a forge at all yet? One bold Marauder trying to take out a pylon, but that's going to be worthless, and he's going to just throw his life away. And it looks like MorroW's going to engage once again, but his army is very far behind. So these storms are going to be very effective, as it's going to make MorroW either sit in the storms or run frantically all over, which allow the obviously the Stalkers and the Immortals to just clean the army up. But he does have quite a few units left here, and he may be able to clean this up. No. A couple more Templars getting morphed in, or warped in, and obviously they do have the Kaideran Amulet now, I believe. And MorroW trying to do some aggression on both fronts, and wow, another drop coming in here at the main base. But HuK does see this. He's going to warp in a lot of units here. That is probably going to repel that. But once again, pushing in on the front, going to take out this Archon. And it looks like... no, with these medevacs healing, this Terran army is going to hold off the Zealots and the Stalkers that were being warped in. And he is going to... Ooh, nice storms once again. And I think there was a storm left in that Templar, but he was morphed into an Archon. And it looks like all this army is being cleaned up here. MorroW's drops are failing now, but it looks like he's once again double expanding. Taking this base and this one here. It's going to give him such a lead on the income, although they have very equal harvesters, 82 to 80. MorroW's income is almost double what HuK's is right now. So although it looks like MorroW is just throwing units away at HuK's army and just weakening up the shields, weakening up the structures, trying to take out as many unit-producing structures as he can afford it. His income is almost 3,200 minerals a second, or minerals a second, that'd be fantastic. Minerals a minute. And right now he can just afford to do this. Just attack on multiple fronts, throwing a lot of units away. And it looks like he's gearing up for another attack here on the expansion here. And HuK threw down 3 forges, but he does not have the money to research any upgrades. He thought the game was going to last a little bit longer and go into a little bit more macro play. And very nice storms once again. HuK's storms have greatly increased in skill level since the last time I've been using him. Or since the last time I've seen him play, and wow, MorroW is just putting on too much pressure. I don't know what HuK can do here to come back. He's trying to push out, but he's forced to bring his army back. Looking at the mini-map, he's bringing all of his units back. No, he can't decide what he's doing. He is sending these Zealots down through, but I don't even know if he knows this or not, but no, he doesn't know about either of these 3 bases. And right now, HuK, there's nothing he can do. This expansion did die, and wow, another massive drop. That's just fantastic. I'm going to back up. I know, although HuK does GG, he's going to lose the game. I'm curious if there was any units here to combat this. 3 warp gates not being, gateways not being turned into warp gates. They are just now, but it's a little bit too late. And MorroW's army is going to clean up on 2 different fronts. They take out a Nexus here, and that leaves HuK just with a measly half a base mining. He does GG, and MorroW takes game 2. So a fantastic series this is ramping up to be. It is now tied 1-1, and Game 3 will be coming up right away, guys. Thanks for tuning in.